We've packed in a lot of new timelog related functionality into this version of JobPro. Now the timelog table has been completely opened up with a full user interface, including a list and option screens. This makes it much more flexible searching and reporting on timelogs. So if you look at the quick view area on the home screen for timelogs, which you can specify for each user if they want to have this open up automatically, we can now edit information directly from here instead of having to go into the full timelog screen. So let's create a new timelog. Now, so we're actually brought in to the new timelog screen here. We're in the new module. We can enter in the comments, times, expenses as well. That's been opened up into timelog functionality. But if we go back into the quick view area, we can also edit directly comments and time in this portal as well. And that's one of the new features. So let's go and link that timelog to a customer or to a job. And we can also link the timelog to a task as well from here. New timelog functionality is also being added into the task module. So if we look at a task here, the budget of time can be based on the start and finish time, or you can put in your own budget of time. And then the total time will come from timelogs, showing you what's billable time and what's non-billable time. And we can reduce the budget from billable time only if we like, and it goes and gives you your difference as well. And another change is that we can warn the timelog user X amount of hours before the budget is used up. So let's say 2 hours before. We can also specify at the task level how much time we estimate is remaining. So let's say we estimate that there's 6 hours work remaining. It's showing then that there's a projected difference of -1 hours. In other words, that there's an issue that we might need to deal with. So let's go and log time against this task. Create a new time log, and we just link it to a task number that we were looking at, and we'll just put in an enter time of 4 hours. Now we're getting a warning here because we've said to warn us 2 hours in advance of using up the budget of time. Now we can go and look at the task from here, and then we've got further information showing relating to that task, where we can actually go and look at any related time linked to a task by clicking on this, or we can view the billable time logs linked to a task by clicking on this one. And we've got relevant warnings down here as well relating to the task's budget. Let's have a look at the jobs module in relation to the new tasks or timelog functionality. So into jobs and look at the timelog tab. So we've got the ability in here to specify on creating a timelog for a job, set it as billable. We have the default rate per hour, which was in the system already, but we can also specify that on creating a timelog linked to this job, prompt the user to link it to a task as well that is also linked to that job. And then down the bottom here we've got an option to warn timelog users in relation to warnings like budgeted time that's been used up for a particular job. So we can warn the timelog user, or we can also email the job manager, and we can also email a specific contact of our choice as well. So either the job manager or another contact and the contact can be emailed if there's a problem with time relating to this job. So let's go back to the timelog screen. So from within here, if we've entered in a timelog, we can create a new timelog from within here, or we can actually go back to either the quick view or the calendar view, which gives us our timelog screens to look at for the day. So the quick view screen we've already seen, but we can also go into the calendar and we can click on time logs from here and look at the day view. Now this functionality in here has also been improved. For example, being able to edit time log information directly from the calendar screen itself. So let's go back to home and to the time log quick view screen. Also, another option in here is that when we duplicate a time log that's already in the system, that if we hold down the shift key when duplicating a time log, it will also duplicate the comments for that time log as well. And if we've got warnings turned on in setup for time logs, then a time log will show in red here. So for example, this time log is showing in red, and if we want to see why, if we hover over the warning, we can see the billable time for this task is now 4 hours and there's 1 hour remaining. Another warning that the user can get is if in a job screen you've specified that time logs should default to billable for that job, and then a user sets the actual time log to not billable, which might be legitimate, but when you go and duplicate a time log that isn't set to billable, but the job is set to default to billable, it'll ask the user, do they want to set the new duplicated time log to billable instead of just replicating the original time log that isn't billable. If we have a look at the time log module again, there's a lot of new functionality on the full time log screen, like including being able to see the budget and actual and balance for any related jobs and tasks that are linked to this time log. And any relevant warnings will also appear on the screen here. Back on the quick view screen, if we created a time log during the day and there's a time clash between two time logs, we'll get another warning as well. So for example, create a new time log. It's giving us a warning here because we specified in setup that on creating a new time log, if there's a previous time log that has no comments entered, will then give a warning. So this is actually another warning as well that you can have, that you can turn on in setup. So we'll say cancel, no, we're not going to create the new time log, and we put in some comments here. So it's just a way making sure that people don't forget to put in some comments on a time log. So now we can create a new time log. Now if we go back to the quick view screen, and if we make this a time clash with a previous time log, so let's put in that time for example. Now we can see here that both time logs are showing in red because there's a clash, and if we hover over the warning, it's saying there's a time clash with an earlier time log today. So we can fix that. And now both of those time logs aren't showing warnings anymore. Also, there's various other improvements, like if a user puts in a finish time that's earlier than the start time. We can see a warning then. Let's have a look at a job for one of these time logs. If we have a look at the Stages tab, we create a stage for this job. Now on the full stage screen, if we've logged any tasks against the stage, and in so doing so we've also logged time logs against those tasks, we can see in here the budget, actual and balance for tasks relating to the stage from within here. So that's new functionality as well. So let's go back into the job and we have a look at the Tasks tab at the job level, there's also new functionality in here showing the budget, actual and balance relating to all tasks for that job. So that's similar to the stages screen as well. You can also run a new task time report from within here, and there are other new reports directly in the full new Timelog module as well. Another option in setup is to specify that when we create a time log, so let's go back into home. When we create a time log, if there's a previous time log that hasn't had finish time entered on it, that it can auto set the finish time to the current time. So it saves you having to update the previous time log as you're creating the new one. So that covers the main new functionality relating to time logs in the system of JobPro. And there's more information in the other relevant video tutorials to do with time logs.